What is good, YouTube? This is your boy, Aaron.
It's Brian. Salute.
And this is the Courtside View Podcast. And we are back today. But before we start, make sure to like, subscribe, comment down below, hit the notification bell, and follow the socials as well because we post stuff on social media. So check out those videos. Let's transition to the final topic of today. I want to go to something that happened a few days ago. It was a report that came out about an article involving D'Angelo Russell with the Lakers. One of the biggest things that came out from that report was his relationship with Darvin Ham. And so this past year, from the time he got traded to now, it's been up and down for D'Angelo Russell. He talked about just the frustration when it comes to not being able to communicate with Darvin Ham the way that he would like to, feeling like he can't communicate him the same way that Dennis Schroeder was able to communicate him because that relationship with Atlanta and stuff. So last year, I think it may have been during the playoffs, and he was getting benched a lot. He wasn't able.
He was stinking up the joint.
He was. I will say that. But at the same time, he also talked about not having those opportunities that he felt he deserved. And he makes some compelling points, I will say, because Darvin Ham, in the past, he has done a disservice to D'Angelo Russell's in a few fronts, specifically this year. He talked about it during, I think it was January, how he said there's times we agree to disagree or come to understanding. He talked about just in terms of how Ham, he would criticize him when it came to film and defensive and on defense, whatever. And D'Angelo Russell, he was like, well, maybe we should do something better from a scheme perspective. But Ham, he always pointed back to, no, you need to do better. And that's where the disconnect came in. And he also talked about how, like, Russell and strategy, and brought up Kenny Atkinson and how him and Kenny Atkinson, they had a good relationship because Russell would tell Kenny Atkinson, like, he was like, Kenny, let's go zone. Let's go zone. Russell recalled this conversation with Atkins. He was like, Pop knows we're going to go zone. We came out. Pop drew up a play for zone, but we were in man. So he was able to communicate with the coach that, hey, how about we not go zone and go man instead, where with Darvin Ham, he doesn't have that relationship. He doesn't have that ability where he can go up to the coach and tell him, like, yo, let's not do that. The coach already knows what we're going to do. Let's try something different. And then he also talked about how, like, they have like 8 different plays, but no. They have 8 different plays, right? But they're actually the same play. They're just named differently. Oh, so okay. Darvin Ham would have these 8 different plays, but they're just called differently. And it's just like, why would you do that? It just makes no sense. And he just would do these things that I already knew there was something going on, where he would bench him, and then he would bring in like Cam Reddish or Taurean Prince and all this other stuff. And it's just like, yo, I get it. D'Lo's not playing well on defense, but you're not going to even start him for him, for Cam Reddish.
Yeah, that was kind
for Taurean Prince. And that's where the problem sort of lies at. He would just do these stupid lineup changes that didn't move the needle at all. Like, it's not that difficult to understand what you need to do. Don't just go all the way out of sorts because of, okay, D'Angelo Russell's not playing great on defense. Oh, we get it. But don't bring in a guy that should be the 10th man or the 8th man and start him. And what happened when he went back to D'Angelo Russell? Well, he guess what? He averaged 22.5 points. He shot 48% from the field, 46% from 3, 85% from the free throw line. Since Ham brought him back to the starting lineup. And without LeBron, the Lakers are 5-4. Ever since he brought D'Angelo Russell back in the starting lineup. So what this article showed me is obviously a lack of communication from both Ham and D'Angelo Russell, but it just also shows just how bad of a coach Ham is. It's the fact that he plays favorites for players that he was coaching in the past, and that he doesn't know how to adjust. The reason we're winning games is not because of Ham, it's because of the players. And it's showing itself day in and day night when you're watching these games. And see, that's why the team has been inconsistent all the time. When you look at the sideline, there are videos where the players aren't even paying attention to what he's doing. LeBron and AD are just shrugging their heads. They're like, what are we doing? It's because Ham, there's sound bites of Ham. Like, you listen to him, and it's like there's no scheme. It's just, come on, guys, let's get it together. Sounding like Jason Garrett on the sideline for the Cowboys. Like, come on, guys, let's get it together. That's what Ham is, and you can't win that way. You just can't. What is your reaction to the reports?
This report just confirms what we all know. Darvin Ham should have been fired way sooner.
Absolutely.
But now, unfortunately, you're in this position where you have to pretty much stick it out and hope to get lucky in the playoffs and go on a real run and win a championship. Mm-hmm. So, yeah, man, it's just they should have pulled a Milwaukee Bucks. Get the coach out of here before the All-Star break. Bring in the new guy. Mm-hmm. And let's restart the season after the break. And, yeah, it's just we all knew Darvin Ham was playing favorites with Dennis Schroeder. We didn't need inside info to see that. You could see it on the court. Yeah, and them lineups, like you said, them janky lineups he was putting out earlier in the year before being like, okay, let's do what worked last year. Mm-hmm. So it's just kind of ridiculous. Darvin Ham, people thought it was a home run hire, and I was just like, I'm gonna let it see how it plays out. I'm gonna let it see how it plays out, and lo and behold, look, same old. Lakers coach being trash. So yeah, man. I mean, I'm glad D'Lo's getting the opportunity now at least. Mm-hmm. I mean, not really because that means the Lakers are winning games, but.
Here we go. What you hate.
But yeah, except y'all can't beat the Kings for whatever reason. But
yeah. Well, I'll say this. Darvin Ham's a top 5 worst coach in the league. I think he's about a 5. I think he's about a 5 coach. This team, I've said it before, but I'm gonna say it again. This team's too talented to not be this inconsistent. I believe with a better coach, I believe with Frank Vogel we'll be way better. And Frank Vogel, I had my problems with him, but he wasn't a bottom 5 coach for us. He's not a bottom 5 coach this year either. And see, that's the thing with Darvin Ham is that there's nothing about Darvin Ham that gives me confidence that he can lead a basketball team. He's an assistant coach. And I fell for this trap thinking that, a coach that can motivate players, a coach that he's like how like Mike Tomlin, like he's good on the mic, a player's coach. They say player's coach, but there's more to coaching than, you're good with speeches. It's schematics. It's understanding.
I think that works more like football versus basketball, because football you got offensive coordinators, defensive coordinators, and the head coach is just like they're the overseers. Yeah, like overseers, but a lot of coaches do get involved.
No, schematics. There's schematics when it comes to coaching in basketball too. I just think it's when the reporting on these coaches, I never hear anything about, this coach is like so good when it comes to schematics. While when you hear in football, it's more so like remember with it was Mike McDaniels or somebody like that. Like you would hear like, oh my God, like he's so smart, he's so innovative with his play calling, with his schemes and stuff like that. While in basketball, you hear more of, players like him and he's a great motivational speaker. It's like, where's the schematics? Where's the play calling and all this other stuff? You look at like a Mike Malone and you could tell like, he's very smart. He knows what he's doing. He's not only good at motivating the players and stuff like that, but he also, from a scheme wise, from a play calling, from an adjustments, he has it all. While when you look at Darvin Ham, he doesn't have any of it. He can't do anything right. And see, that's the thing where I'm trying to figure out how how do these organizations, how do the people in the media, how do you know that a coaching candidate who isn't the head coach, he's an assistant coach, how do you know that they're good? How do you know they're capable of being a head coach? That's my thing. Is it because that they were because assistant coach, there'll be times where they're leading the huddle and not the head coach. The head coach will be on the sideline. He'll let the assistant coach do their own thing. How do we know that the candidate that is trying to be the next head coach of the Lakers, how do we know that he's worth hiring? How do we know that? Like that's the thing that I'm trying to sort of figure out. With the NFL, there's more reporting. There's more of stuff that, the OC, he handles the play calling. We know that.
Yeah.
But while in the NBA, it's not like that. It's just like, he's just an assistant coach. We don't know what exactly he does. That's where I'm sort of trying to figure out with Darvin Ham and why we fell for the trap. Is what does he do? Like, what did he do for the Bucks? I know the players like him in the locker room, but is that enough?
I thought he helped with like the defense for the Bucks.
I don't know.
I thought he was like defense guy for
I don't
the
know.
Bucks.
But that's the thing. Like we don't know. Like all I heard was the players like him. The players respect him. But is that enough to hire a head coach? Because he's the lead assistant. But is that enough to know that a coach is ready to be promoted to a head coach? Is my thing. And that's where NBA head coaching is weird. Because all of them are called assistant coaches. There's no offensive coordinator. There's no defensive coordinator. There's no what do they call passing game coordinator. There's none of that. It's just assistant coach, leading assistant coach. What does that mean? What does that mean? So, yeah, Darvin Ham, we're stuck with him for now. Hopefully he's gone.
You gotta tell the people what's your nickname for him that you call him.
Darvin Scam, because he scammed us. He scammed the Lakers. He scammed us all. Good job. When he gets fired, he's still gonna have money because that contract is fully guaranteed. So good job. You scammed us. Congratulations. But D'Angelo Russell's right. I do think that he needs to do a better job communicating this to Darvin Ham. You can't just be like, I don't feel like I'm comfortable enough to go up to him. Like, no, you have to do your due diligence. Sometimes the coach, he doesn't know. You have to tell him. You have to confront him, and that's just what it is. Another thing I was concerned about in the article was that D'Angelo Russell talked about how, like, when he went to the Lakers, he said that only Bron was talking when they were in the locker room and they were going off of schematics and all this other stuff, what they needed to do. He was like, only Bron was talking. I was like, what? He was like, what the hell? Why is only Bron talking? Everybody needs to talk. And so that just lets me know that we don't have like the necessarily guys that are the IQ. The IQ is not there.
Guys or the structure.
The IQ, the veteran leadership, the veterans on the court needed, because there's a lot of young guys on the team.
Yeah.
Like besides LeBron and AD, everybody else is in their 20s.
Yeah.
So that's just that. Yeah, that's just let me know. We need more veteran leadership. All right. Is there anything else you want to talk about before we get out of here? All right, man. Well, that'll do it on this episode of Courtside View Podcast. Make sure to like, subscribe, comment down below, hit the notification bell, follow the socials as well, and we'll see you guys on the next episode of the Courtside View Podcast. Thank you guys for watching, and peace.
One time.